Angel says, listen carefully, stop for a moment and feel the weight of this message, because if your eyes are on these words right now, it is not coincidence, it is confirmation, and it is not arriving early or late, it is arriving exactly when your spirit crossed a line that could not be crossed before, because something shifted after January 6 that cannot be reversed, and from that shift a decision was sealed. A decision that involves you, your future, and a sacred union that was not formed through impulse but through divine observation, because someone with a pure heart has already chosen you for marriage, not in fantasy, not in pressure, but in clarity that was born through patience and inner certainty. My beloved soul, you may feel a sudden stillness as you read this, a quiet seriousness settling in your chest, because this message carries gravity, not excitement alone, but recognition, and recognition always arrives calmly, never chaotically, because truth does not rush. My beloved soul, angels say this choice was made only after watching how you move when no one is rewarding you, how you love without bargaining, how you remain dignified when misunderstood, and how you protect your heart without closing it, because these qualities are not common, and they cannot be built overnight. My beloved soul, understand this clearly, you were not chosen because you are convenient, available, or easy to impress, you were chosen because your presence brings order, your energy brings safety, and your silence carries wisdom that speaks louder than words. My beloved soul, the one who has chosen you did not do so lightly, because this choice required them to confront their own fears, patterns, and immaturity, and that is why you may have felt distance, pauses, or moments where nothing seemed to move, because alignment often looks like delay before it looks like direction. My beloved soul, this union is not about filling a void, it is about joining strength with strength, and heaven does not allow such unions to form until both souls can stand independently without losing themselves. My beloved soul, you may have wondered why connections in the past reached a limit and stopped, why people admired you but could not meet you, and why effort always felt one-sided, and this was not punishment, it was protection, because what is meant for you requires emotional maturity, spiritual steadiness, and long-term vision, not temporary desire. My beloved soul, angels say after January 6 your energy changed, not dramatically on the surface, but deeply at the core, because you stopped negotiating your worth internally, and the moment you did that, your timeline shifted to meet someone who does not need to be convinced of your value. My beloved soul, the one who has chosen you sees you as someone they can build with, not escape with, someone they can grow old with, not just feel alive with, and this difference matters more than passion alone. My beloved soul, if you have felt recently that you no longer resonate with confusion, mixed signals, or emotional games, this is because your spirit has moved into a season where clarity feels natural and chaos feels foreign. My beloved soul, angels say this message is reaching you now to stabilize your heart, because anticipation without grounding can distort perception, and you are being asked to remain calm, observant, and emotionally clean as alignment completes. My beloved soul, do not mistake silence for absence, because divine processes are quiet, and the deepest commitments are often made privately before they are expressed outwardly. My beloved soul, the one who has chosen you is not rushing because they understand the weight of what they are stepping into, and responsibility always pauses before it moves forward. My beloved soul, you are not being asked to chase, initiate, or prove anything, because what is aligned moves toward you naturally, without force or persuasion. My beloved soul, if doubt tries to rise and ask whether this is real, remember that your past taught you to survive unpredictability, but survival instincts are not intuition, and peace may feel unfamiliar at first. My beloved soul, angels say your role right now is not action but readiness, not questioning but trust, because what has been chosen will be revealed in form at the correct moment. My beloved soul, marriage energy is not loud, it is steady, it is grounded, and it brings with it a sense of responsibility that feels heavier than excitement but safer than uncertainty. My beloved soul, you may notice your thoughts becoming more future-focused, more intentional, more selective, and this is because your spirit is aligning with a partner who values longevity over intensity. My beloved soul, do not look backward wondering who missed their chance, because what is meant for you does not require regret to arrive, it requires presence. My beloved soul, angels say you are being prepared not just to be loved, but to be partnered with, and there is a difference, because partnership requires honesty, patience, and emotional regulation. My beloved soul, as you move forward from this moment, carry this knowing quietly, without announcing it, without seeking validation, because sacred things grow best when protected from unnecessary exposure. My beloved soul, this is not the end of waiting, it is the end of uncertainty, and what comes next will unfold naturally, step by step, without forcing, without fear, and without confusion, because you are not being led into another lesson, you are being led into alignment. My beloved soul, now that this knowing has settled within you, angels want you to understand what is unfolding beneath the surface, because what has been chosen is not only a person, it is a shared path that required timing, maturity, and inner readiness on both sides, and this is why movement has felt slow yet inevitable. My beloved soul, divine alignment never rushes what must last, because anything built to endure must first be stabilized at the foundation, and you have been undergoing that stabilization without even realizing it. My beloved soul, think back to the last season of your life, how you were stripped of illusions, how certain desires fell away, how distractions lost their hold on you, and how you became quieter but stronger, and this was not accidental, this was preparation, because marriage is not about intensity alone, it is about sustainability. My beloved soul, angels say the one who has chosen you is also being shaped during this time, learning restraint, learning accountability, learning to value peace over ego, and this is why paths did not fully intersect earlier, because incomplete versions were not allowed to bind themselves. My beloved soul, understand that divine timing is not about delay, it is about precision, and precision requires patience, not frustration. My beloved soul, you may have felt moments of emotional exhaustion in the past, wondering why you kept giving without receiving equally, and this was because you were learning boundaries, learning self-respect, and learning that love must be mutual to be sustainable. My beloved soul, angels say once that lesson was integrated, your energetic signal changed, and only those capable of reciprocity could recognize you. My beloved soul, this is why attention from incompatible energies faded naturally, without drama, without explanation, because what no longer matches you cannot remain. My beloved soul, the one who has chosen you did not need to be taught who you are, they recognized you instinctively, because recognition does not analyze, it knows. My beloved soul, there is a difference between attraction and recognition. Attraction excites the mind, but recognition calms the spirit, and this is why this connection feels steady rather than overwhelming. My beloved soul, angels say you are being protected from rushing into expectation, because expectation can distort perception, and perception must remain clear for alignment to complete smoothly. My beloved soul, do not fill silence with assumptions. Because silence is being used as a container for intention, not confusion. My beloved soul, the one who has chosen you is navigating responsibility, not indecision, and responsibility always carries weight that must be carried consciously. My beloved soul, if you sense a pull toward stability, routine, and grounded future planning, this is because your spirit is aligning with long-term union rather than short-term emotion. My beloved soul, angels say marriage is not arriving as an escape from solitude, but as an expansion of wholeness, and wholeness must be honored, not rushed. My beloved soul, you are being asked to remain emotionally regulated, not reactive, because reactions can interrupt delicate alignment. My beloved soul, notice how your tolerance for emotional chaos has decreased, how you now desire clarity without chasing it, and how you are no longer willing to compromise your peace for temporary connection, and this is evidence of readiness. My beloved soul, the one who has chosen you respects this about you, even if they have not yet verbalized it, because respect often precedes expression. My beloved soul, angels say do not doubt the process simply because you cannot control it, because control is not required where trust exists. My beloved soul, what is unfolding now is not meant to be analyzed to death, it is meant to be allowed, because divine order works best when the mind does not interfere with fear-based questioning. My beloved soul, this does not mean passivity, it means presence, awareness, and self-alignment. My beloved soul, remain consistent in who you are, because consistency is what allows recognition to turn into commitment. My beloved soul, the one who has chosen you is watching how you handle waiting, because waiting reveals character more clearly than action. My beloved soul, angels say this season is refining patience into strength, not into resignation. My beloved soul, you are not being tested to see if you will give up, you are being stabilized so that when movement occurs, it does not shake you. My beloved soul, marriage energy requires emotional endurance, not impulsive passion, and endurance is built in quiet seasons. My beloved soul, if loneliness tries to speak louder during moments of stillness, do not confuse it with lack, because solitude is not absence, it is alignment space. My beloved soul, angels say your future partner is not intimidated by your depth, they are drawn to it, and they are learning how to meet it without feeling inadequate. My beloved soul, this is why timing matters, because insecurity cannot coexist with partnership. My beloved soul, you are not meant to shrink to be chosen, you are meant to remain whole to be matched. My beloved soul, trust that what has chosen you is approaching with intention, not hesitation, and when it arrives in form, it will feel natural, grounded, and unmistakably clear. My beloved soul, until that moment, remain steady, remain open, and remain anchored in your truth, because alignment is already in motion, and nothing that is meant for you will miss its moment. My beloved soul, as this alignment continues to unfold, angels want you to become aware of the internal changes happening within you, because preparation for union does not begin with another person, it begins with a recalibration of the self, and this recalibration is already active within your thoughts, your emotional responses, and the way you now perceive your own future. My beloved soul, notice how you are no longer pulled toward intensity for the sake of feeling something, how you no longer confuse longing with love, and how you have become more selective with where you place your energy, because these shifts are not random preferences, they are signs that your spirit is aligning with permanence rather than excitement. My beloved soul, angels say permanence requires emotional honesty, and emotional honesty requires that you see yourself clearly without illusion, without harsh judgment, and without denial, and this is why you have been reflecting more deeply on your own patterns, your reactions, and your needs. My beloved soul, this awareness is not meant to burden you, it is meant to free you, because awareness dissolves repetition, and repetition is what kept you cycling through connections that could never fully meet you. My beloved soul, understand that what is approaching you is not meant to fix you, save you, or complete you, because completion has already taken place within, and union only becomes possible when two complete individuals choose to walk together. My beloved soul, angels say the one who has chosen you is drawn to your self-awareness, even if they do not fully understand it yet, because self-awareness creates emotional safety, and safety is the foundation of commitment. My beloved soul, you may feel moments where old fears attempt to resurface, whispering doubts about timing, worth, or outcome, but these fears are not prophetic, they are echoes of past instability leaving your system. My beloved soul, do not engage those echoes, because engagement gives them weight, and weight slows alignment. My beloved soul, instead, ground yourself in the present, where clarity lives, because clarity does not argue, it simply exists. My beloved soul, angels say your calm presence is more powerful now than any effort you could make, because calm signals readiness, while urgency signals lack. My beloved soul, this is why you are being guided to slow your internal pace even if your external life continues normally, because internal steadiness creates external order. My beloved soul, notice how you are no longer tempted to over-explain yourself, how you allow silence to exist without panic, and how you trust that what is meant to understand you will do so without force. My beloved soul, these are not small changes, they are markers of maturity that prepare you for partnership rather than dependency. My beloved soul, angels say marriage energy responds to stability, not pursuit, and stability is being cultivated within you now. My beloved soul, you are learning to hold joy without attachment and desire without desperation, and this balance is rare, which is why it took time to develop. My beloved soul, the one who has chosen you is also learning this balance, even if their path look different, because alignment does not require identical journeys, it requires compatible destinations. My beloved soul, do not compare timelines, because comparison distorts gratitude, and gratitude keeps the heart open. My beloved soul, angels say remain open but not exposed, receptive but not unguarded, because wisdom does not close the heart, it protects it intelligently. My beloved soul, you are not being asked to anticipate the future obsessively, because obsession pulls energy forward prematurely, and premature energy disrupts natural unfolding. My beloved soul, allow things to reveal themselves gradually, because gradual revelation builds trust without shock. My beloved soul, notice how your intuition has become quieter but more precise, because true intuition does not shout, it guides gently. My beloved soul, angels say trust that gentle guidance, because it is aligned with truth rather than fear. My beloved soul, if impatience arises, see it not as failure but as residue, something passing through rather than defining you. My beloved soul, you are not regressing, you are integrating, and integration often feels slower than transformation but lasts much longer. My beloved soul, marriage is not a single moment, it is a continuous choice, and continuous choices require emotional regulation, self-respect, and shared values. My beloved soul, these qualities are being strengthened within you now, not through pressure, but through lived understanding. My beloved soul, do not underestimate the power of this quiet season, because quiet seasons build inner architecture that supports future expansion. My beloved soul, angels say when movement becomes visible, it will feel natural rather than dramatic, because alignment does not announce itself loudly, it settles in confidently. My beloved soul, remain anchored in who you are becoming rather than who you used to be, because growth does not reverse for comfort. My beloved soul, you are being shaped for something stable, something enduring, something rooted in mutual respect and shared direction, and this shaping is happening now, moment by moment, breath by breath, without force, without fear, and without confusion, because you are already on the path that leads to what has chosen you. My beloved soul, as this alignment continues to settle into form, angels want you to recognize how your perception of commitment itself has transformed, because commitment is no longer something you imagine as sacrifice or loss, it is now something you sense as stability, grounding, and shared direction, and this shift within you is essential for what is approaching. My beloved soul, there was a time when the idea of long-term union may have felt heavy, uncertain, or even restrictive, not because you were incapable of depth, but because depth without safety creates anxiety, and anxiety cannot coexist with true partnership. My beloved soul, angels say safety has now become a dominant frequency within you, not because circumstances suddenly became perfect, but because your inner world became ordered, and inner order changes what you attract without effort. My beloved soul, notice how you no longer fear being seen fully, how you no longer feel the need to perform, impress, or overextend to be valued, because these were survival strategies, not expressions of your true nature. My beloved soul, the one who has chosen you is responding to your authenticity, not to effort, because authenticity cannot be replicated or faked, and it signals long-term compatibility more clearly than charm ever could. My beloved soul, angels say what is forming between you is built on mutual recognition rather than pursuit, and recognition creates equality, not imbalance. My beloved soul, equality in partnership does not mean sameness, it means shared respect, shared responsibility, and shared willingness to grow together through change. My beloved soul, this is why you have been guided to release expectations shaped by past disappointments, because carrying old frameworks into a new alignment would distort its foundation. My beloved soul, you are learning to meet the present without projecting the past onto it, and this skill is crucial for sustainable union. My beloved soul, angels say when the one who has chosen you steps forward in clarity, it will not trigger anxiety, it will bring relief, because relief is the body's response to truth. My beloved soul, truth does not create confusion, it simplifies. My beloved soul, you may notice that your nervous system has become calmer over time, that emotional spikes are less intense, and that your reactions are more measured, and this is because your system is preparing to share space with another without losing balance. My beloved soul, partnership requires regulation, not perfection, and regulation is learned through awareness, not force. My beloved soul, angels say do not mistake calm for lack of passion, because passion grounded in safety burns steadily rather than destructively. My beloved soul, what is approaching is not meant to consume you, it is meant to support you, and support feels different from intensity. My beloved soul, intensity demands attention, support offers presence. My beloved soul, you are being aligned with presence. My beloved soul, reflect on how your desires have refined, how you now value honesty over excitement, consistency over promise, and follow through over words, because these values form the backbone of lasting partnership. My beloved soul, angels say these values were cultivated through experience, not theory, and experience cannot be rushed or skipped. My beloved soul, do not regret the time it took to arrive here, because every moment contributed to your readiness, even those that felt wasted or painful. My beloved soul, readiness does not announce itself loudly, it shows itself through peace, discernment, and grounded anticipation. My beloved soul, you are not waiting anxiously anymore, you are allowing confidently, and allowance is a sign of trust. My beloved soul, angels say trust is not blind belief, it is informed calm, and informed calm is now part of your nature. My beloved soul, the one who has chosen you senses this, because emotional safety is felt before it is understood. My beloved soul, you may not yet see all external confirmations, but internal alignment always precedes visible movement. My beloved soul, do not attempt to accelerate what is already unfolding at the correct pace, because acceleration introduces instability. My beloved soul, stability is what allows love to mature rather than burn out. My beloved soul, angels say this connection is not built on urgency, it is built on intention, and intention moves deliberately. My beloved soul, if moments of impatience arise, gently return to presence, because presence anchors you to what is real rather than imagined outcomes. My beloved soul, imagination without grounding can create unnecessary fear, but presence dissolves fear by keeping you connected to truth. My beloved soul, truth is simple, what is meant for you will move toward you without resistance, without confusion, and without compromise of your values. My beloved soul, you are not required to shrink, bend, or abandon yourself to receive what has chosen you, because what has chosen you aligns with who you already are becoming. My beloved soul, angels say remain receptive but steady, open but grounded, because balance is what sustains union beyond the initial phase. My beloved soul, when movement becomes tangible, you will recognize it not through dramatic emotion, but through a sense of rightness that does not require explanation. My beloved soul, that sense of rightness is what you have been preparing for, consciously and unconsciously, and it is already closer than you realize, forming quietly, steadily, and with purpose, because alignment does not rush, it arrives fully formed, ready to be lived rather than questioned. My beloved soul, as this message comes to rest within you, angels want you to carry one final understanding with you, because endings in divine guidance are not closures, they are integrations, and what you integrate now will shape how gently and clearly what has chosen you steps into your life. My beloved soul, you are not standing at the edge of something fragile, you are standing within something forming with care, intention, and stability, and this difference matters more than excitement ever could. My beloved soul, there is nothing you need to do to secure what is meant for you, because security does not come from effort, it comes from alignment, and alignment has already been set in motion. My beloved soul, release the habit of scanning the future for proof, because proof will arrive naturally, without you needing to search for it. My beloved soul, angels say when the moment comes, clarity will not require interpretation, it will simply feel settled, grounded, and right. My beloved soul, trust the quiet confidence growing within you, because confidence born from truth does not need reassurance. My beloved soul, you have been prepared not through instruction, but through experience, and experience has shaped you into someone capable of receiving commitment without fear of losing yourself. My beloved soul, remember that love meant to last does not arrive to disrupt your peace, it arrives to share it. My beloved soul, whatever unfolds next will unfold in a way that respects your boundaries, honors your values, and supports your growth, because anything less would not align with what has chosen you. My beloved soul, you are not walking into uncertainty, you are walking into recognition, and recognition does not waver. My beloved soul, let go of the need to label timing, because divine order does not operate on urgency, it operates on readiness. My beloved soul, readiness now lives within you, quietly and steadily. My beloved soul, as you move forward, remain present in your life, continue nurturing what grounds you, and allow joy to exist without attachment, because balance sustains what passion alone cannot. My beloved soul, angels say you are held, guided, and protected through what comes next, not because the path will be without challenge, but because you are no longer walking it alone. My beloved soul, this chapter does not demand performance, it invites participation, and participation requires openness rather than effort. My beloved soul, allow what has been forming to meet you naturally, without anticipation turning into pressure. My beloved soul, peace is your compass now, and peace will not lead you astray. My beloved soul, when you look back on this moment, you will understand that nothing was missing, nothing was delayed, and nothing was wasted. My beloved soul, everything aligned when you were ready to receive without fear. My beloved soul, carry this knowing gently, live fully in the present, and trust that what has chosen you will step forward in its time, steady, clear, and committed, because alignment does not fade once it is reached, it deepens as it is lived.